Welcome back to another episode of Growing Faith Farms. Today we're doing some field cultivating. So right now I'm working on this little field. I'm only doing half. So to where that pivot is, because this half is chisel plowed, that half still has manure on it, needs to get dug up with the deep tiller. I just finished this 40 and my dad was right behind me planting it. He's up at the shed right now, way out there, the white building, refilling the planter so he can come out and do this part. We're running the 7240 Magnum today with our Case IH field cultivator. You know, it's in the ground, otherwise I'd show you. It's just got sweeps on it and a drag. It works pretty slick. We've had this tractor running this thing for since I was a kid, but this tractor doesn't actually have that many hours on it. It's actually quite nice in here. Well, it's a little dusty out today, which is kind of surprising because it just rained last night. Look at that. This thing's barely over 3,000 hours. So it's a pretty nice tractor. I can't remember any time we've ever had any issues on it. This is pretty much its only job. For a long time, actually, we ran it on the round baler. You can see there's the monitor right there, but we just set up a different tractor for that so that we wouldn't put as many hours on this one. So I'm gonna get rolling on this, and then once I have my edge set, since I have to pay attention, I'll do a little filming going back and forth with the field cultivator behind me. Alright, so I'm doing the headland right now. I was just over there in that corner when I was filming last time. Yeah. These headlands are never dug up, so I'm just sticking the cultivator as deep as it goes. I don't know why. Probably because it's sandy back here. My dad is back. He's over there by the irrigator. I'll get a better shot of him when he gets a little closer, but yeah. So we've been running gear 9. And normally it goes faster. I'm spinning pretty good right now with the with it all the way down, but that's all right. But that stuff is rough. So that we always chisel plow in the fall whenever we can, and so that way it can break up over winter, get that freeze thaw actually going on, and then we just field cultivate right before we plant in the spring, and that's always worked out great. But it is a rough ride for whoever gets this job, which it's not so bad. But these big tires in the front, front wheel assist, it's not so bad. I couldn't imagine doing it with a 2-wheel drive tractor would probably be a pretty rough ride. But this isn't so bad, so yeah. So you can see he's planting already. He's doing his headlands. So the way it works is he'll do his headlands up here, and then he'll start planting. As I go across the field, he'll follow behind me. But to do that, I have to make my headlands gigantic because I have to account for 24 rows of corn plus space for me to turn around. And when you do that, you have to go crossways in the chisel plowing, and it gets really rough. Like, it gets rough just normally doing this, you know, because we chisel plow at an angle. But this part is definitely the roughest. This isn't so bad because it's kind of sandy over here, so it's kind of just squishing. But when I was doing that side of the field, it was really rough. So now I'm doing the long ways of the field, you know, this way. And it's not so bad. It just kind of rolls over these mounds. So it's not nearly as rough as when you go on crossways on it. It is really easy to get screwed up and make your thing all squiggly though, because like I said earlier, we chisel plow at an angle, kind of help break up the corn rows a little better. So your brain kind of plays tricks on you because there's no corn rows to follow, and I don't have any sort of GPS or anything. This is the old look at the corner and see how close I am and adjust. So yeah, it's just kind of doing this back and forth. It's pretty nice out today. I don't know if I mentioned earlier what date it is, but it is, I want to say May 12th or 11th of 2024. I think my dad has almost his whole farm planted already. I, on the other hand, have not planted my 10 acres yet. So, since if you've watched any of my previous videos, you know that I rotationally graze. Well, the cows are out there, and I'll do a video on that. And I want them to graze off the pasture that I'm turning into cornfield first before I dig it up to get, you know, kind of get the forage off without just digging it all under. So they're out there grazing it right now, and when they finish that up, I will dig it up and plant it, and that'll probably be in the next week or so. So yeah, you guys didn't get to see how good I am at turning around, but looks like we got ourselves one of those stupid helium balloons. Painted stuff, especially when you're chopping corn or you got it in your pasture and stuff. Not good. Especially if a cow were to eat it or something. I've found one of these stupid things every single year since I was 20 years old. Whether it's my farm or my dad's farm, I find one. What is this? I think it's the number 2 birthday party or something. Yep, that's definitely it too. We'll throw that in the cab. Throw that away. Or burn it. We'll see. Oh, there's my dad getting ready to come down here. There we go. Back on track. So, I'll talk about the planter over there a little bit. My dad is currently moving the irrigator out of the way. I think all the other 3, so we got 4 total. I think this is the only one that he didn't upgrade this last year to the other ones he can run off his phone, which is pretty cool in advance for him. But we got a zoom in a little. Oh, that did not work. Alright, well, whatever. There is a 7130 12-row planter, a Case IH Cyclo, folds up. We've had that planter for a long time. He really likes it. You can adjust the seed population on it with a little switch, and then as you may have seen, it has liquid tanks on it. There we go, that worked a little better. It's got 2 liquid tanks. Mine actually has liquid tanks on it too. Oh my, I'm so sorry, I keep getting my hand in front of the camera. I'm trying to watch where I'm going, no GPS over here either. Yeah, he's always been happy with it. We've got decent yields with it always. This field, or the one in front of me, I remember a while back we got over like 325 bushels to the acre with it, so I'd say it works pretty good. The reason we don't have any GPS stuff is because it would never pay for itself out here. Every other farm in America has fields that are round or angled or I don't know, trapezoid or whatever. You get the gist of it. If you farm, you know, fields are not square, but our farm is perfectly rectangular except for this field, which is a square. But I had to turn around there. Okay, so our farm is one gigantic rectangle with 40s in it that are all perfect squares, except for this 40 that I'm telling you right now sticks out. So we, you know, our property line kind of goes up to those trees and whatnot, but this 40 sticks out from the rest of the farm, which is goofy. I don't know, that's just the way that they did it back when they made the 40s. Anyways, so all of our fields are perfect squares, so there's no reason to have GPS unless you want to drive just a little bit straighter. You know, the row shutoffs, as long as you can just shut the row or get to the end of the field and raise it when you get to the end, you're good. It's perfect every single time, all across the farm. So there's no reason to have row shutoffs. My farm, on the other hand, is so curvy in the fields that row shutoffs would be very useful. However, I only plant like 10 acres of corn, so that will never pay for itself either out at my place. But yeah, I mean, and once again, if you watch my other videos, you know that we have a second farm way over there, like a mile or two from here. That has some curvy fields, but he only plants corn in 2 of them. One of them actually is rectangle shaped, and the other one, it's not too oddly shaped, but the rest is all pasture, and that field gets grazed off. Like, he takes the corn off for high moisture and then graze the rest with the beef cows. So I don't know if it necessarily needs perfect rows because, you know, if you have extra corn between the rows or on the ends or whatever, the beacons are going to eat it and utilize it anyways, or if there's any run over corn. So it's not necessarily a waste per se. So yeah, I think he's probably going to run that planter until either it falls apart or he dies. Or if I take over someday, I'll probably just keep running it. So yeah, that's kind of the farm in a nutshell of how we do planting out here. This is probably going to be the only video of planting at Dad's farm. Like I said earlier, I think he's just about wrapped up planting. But there will be footage at my farm. So that's always exciting because I've never planted corn on my own. My dad has always done it, and I've always done this job when I come work for him. I have rode in that planter before, but I've never run it myself. He's just always done it. That's fine. That's his planter. Mine is definitely less technical because he's got a whole bunch of switches in there to run his aftermarket fertilizer system, and like I said, he can control seed population. He's got auxiliaries, blah blah blah. Mine is run off the ground, ground driven. I mean, I have a PTO hydraulic pump to run mine, and again, I'll get into all of this when I actually plant mine. But pretty much I just set mine down and go, and then lift it up and stop. So yeah, I'm going to finish digging this field, and then I'll cut in this next clip. It'll be me folding up the digger and then driving it back to the shed. I was wrong. I have to make another edit into the video quick. So remember that balloon I found? Well, it looks like we got more. Oh yeah, look at that, more trash. Well, that's a wrap for this half of the field. See, he's out planting still. He's not too far behind me, but like I said, we'll show you folding up the wings. Awfully dusty today. Alright, that's it. I'm going to take this thing home and go home to my family. And yeah, so stick around. There'll be more videos this spring. Next one should be either the cattle on the pasture and how my winter rye turned out, or planting. So stay tuned for that. Thanks again for watching.